180.
Luke, here we are, back at the O2, Premier League finals night, second year in a row. What can you learn from last year ahead of finals night tomorrow?
Not much really, just don't lose. That's it really. I think last year obviously was a great campaign for myself. You know, plenty of 100 averages, overall 100 average, but yeah, I think it all doesn't really matter for the 16 weeks. As long as you qualify, all that matters is the 17th week. So the only thing I learned is try and turn up on the Thursday in the best form you can.
Last year, Luke, and this year, Luke has made a big thing about wanting to play in that first semi-final. Do you think it makes a big difference playing in that first semi-final to the second one ahead of the final?
Not particularly. I don't think it really matters. You play, you know, if you play in the first one, you have a break. Sometimes it can affect you in the other way, where you get a bit tired and sluggish. You know, for me, I like playing. I wouldn't care if I was the first semi-final. But being the second semi-final, you're back on again. You know, you keep yourself warm. Whereas if I go and sit down for an hour, it kind of can make me feel a bit sluggish and a bit tired. So yeah, I prefer to be in the second semi. But if I was the first, it wouldn't bother me either way.
Look, you know that all eyes are on you and Luke, and everyone's expecting you to do battle again. How important is it for you not to overlook that semi-final?
I never would anyway. I never look any game that I play in darts. You know, against Nathan, he's a well and truly established pro, so I'm not going to be looking to the final. You know, Luke's got to beat Gezi at first, and I've got to beat Nathan. But you know, might be Nathan and Gezi in the final. Who knows? But I'm hoping that it's me for sure. As long as I'm in the final, that's all that matters. And it's going to be a tough game for me. Nathan's playing a lot better now, and yeah, I definitely wouldn't have passed him.
And this is the first time Luke's got to defend a major title. I remember you speaking about that different kind of pressure, like when you did it last year at the World Grand Prix. What's that feeling like? Is it completely different to anything else defending that title?
Yeah, a little bit. I think if you're a normal person, it is. But for Luke, he's not, is he? So, you know, I don't think the pressure's going to worry him. To be honest, he's not going to be thinking about, well, I've got to defend this. You know, or the pressure's on me. I think he's played in so many big matches now that I don't think anything's going to bother him. So. Yeah, it is hard. You know, you don't want to give the trophy away like the World Championships. I didn't want to give that away, but yeah, you learn from them situations, and you know, you just did another day, another game.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke, you've been putting in some monster averages over the last couple of weeks in the Premier League and on the Euro too. Do you feel like your game's in the best place possible going into tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think it's in a good place. Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons I really wanted to go at the weekend. To be honest, I always seem to play well on the European tour, and you know, it gets me in good spirits, gets my confidence high. So yeah, I thought I played well at the weekend. You know, consistently, which is important. So yeah, it's given me some good confidence going into tomorrow.
And there's talk obviously of the Triple Crown, Premier League, Worlds, and the Matchplay. Is that a big thing to you to secure that?
Yeah, of course, it's a big for everybody. You know, everybody wants to win them three. Whether people believe it's a Triple Crown or not, it doesn't really bother me. But I think in my mind, they're the three biggest tournaments to win, because obviously the Worlds is the most prestigious, and then the Matchplay is obviously been at the Winter Gardens for so long. That's just so prestigious. And then the Premier League's one, I think it's the hardest to win, because you've got to be good for not 2 or 3 weeks. You'll be good for 16 weeks, and then good on that one night. So I do think the Premier League's the hardest one to win. So yeah, I think, you know, if you can get all 3 of them, I think only Phil, Michael, and Gary have done that. So it shows you how hard it is to do. So that's what my eyes are set on for tomorrow.
Obviously, last year you came here as reigning world champion. Do you feel like there's a little bit less pressure and expectation on you this year, or is there still that pressure for you and Luke to make the final?
Not really. I took all the pressure off my shoulders now, to be honest. I think if I never won another trophy, I'd be pleased with my career. It's been good. I've been a world champion, I've been a Matchplay champion. They're the 2 biggest ones I always wanted to win. You know, I'd love to win the Premier League, but if I ended my career without one, I don't think I'd look back and be disappointed. So yeah, everything's a free roll for me. If I can go and win it, then I'll be super happy. But yeah, I'm starting to get to that point now in my career where I'm not putting that pressure on my shoulders anymore. I'm just here to enjoy myself and try and win as many major tournaments as I can. I just love being involved. You know, that's what I like. You know, being here and being a part of a special occasion like this is just what I live for. So I'm just happy that I'm here, and you know, really looking forward to tomorrow.
Cheers.
Hi, Luke. Was that a conscious sort of change of mindset to try and stop putting that pressure on yourself?
Yeah, I never really put too much pressure on myself as a whole, to be honest. But when you like get to world #1 and you're world champion, and everybody just expects it every week, and you know, you got to sit down and yourself and think you can't do it every week, every month. You know, you're not going to be winning titles all the time. So it's just about, you know, relaxing a little bit, enjoying where you are in the world. You know, I'm really lucky to have been a world champion and a world #1. So yeah, I just thought, just relax a bit and, you know, let the darts do the talk, and if they do, then you can enjoy it. But I'm much more enjoying darts at the moment. I feel like I'm I'm relaxing a little bit more now and not putting too much pressure on myself, and that does help my mental state as well in the game.
We see you as quite an experienced player, and you are in many tournaments, but just your second Premier League campaign, do you feel like you're an experienced player in these scenarios, or does it still feel a little bit new and there's that sort of nervousness around it?
Yeah, I know it's a big occasion, but I don't feel as nervous in these situations anymore. I've been in, I think, 12 or 13 or so major finals now, so you're kind of used to that feeling, and yeah, it feels quite natural to me now, which is important. So yeah, at the start of my career, when you get in these big moments, maybe even last year, you feel a little bit apprehensive about it. You know, you're in another big tournament, big semi-final and final. You know, you don't want to mess it up. But now, you know, I'm really relaxed about it all. I'm really just looking forward to playing.
Is there anything you can compare the Premier League final to? Because it's obviously the biggest crowd in darts, maybe not as big a game as a World Championship final, but in terms of what's behind you in the crowd, it's a huge occasion.
Yeah, I'm not one that too worries about what's behind me. You know, I'm obviously focused on the dartboard, so it could have like 50,000 people in the crowd, but it's still the same as having 5,000 people in the crowd. It's still a lot of people. But you know, the World Championship final was a massive game for myself and performed really well in it. The Matchplay final was a massive game for myself and performed really well in it, and then the World Cup. I know that wasn't singles, but again, it's something I always dreamed of having. So, massive game when I performed, you know, exceptionally well. So, for me, I think if I can do it in them three, then I can do it tomorrow if need be. If I can perform my best, then I'll stand a good chance.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Luke, you mentioned that throughout the 16 weeks, the main thing is just get here, get to the O2. So how do you stay focused towards the latter end when you've pretty much already sewn it up and make sure that you stay sharp?
I just think dedication. I want to win everything. You know, I don't ever want to turn up to a night on the Premier League and be like, oh, I'll just win a game and I'll be happy. You know, you have to go into every week wanting to win. The drive has to be there. And still on 15 week, 16 week, I wanted to win. You know, I wanted to win them 2 nights, and you know, even try and get a top spot. There was a chance for me if I'd have beat Luke in Aberdeen, I still could have got it. So I'm still striving for more. You know, you always want to be better, be a better version of yourself, and yeah, I'm just trying to get to that level that's even better than it is now. So yeah, of course, I know what you mean. When you're in it, you can kind of relax, but yeah, I still wanted to go and win them 2 nights to give myself a bit of confidence.
You're the only player out of the 4 who made the trip to the Euro Tour. Was that always the case? Did you always plan to do that just to get that match practice, whereas the others maybe took a week off, and does that give you maybe an edge over them?
Look, there's no right or wrong answer for that question. If you go, then it's great because you get yourself a bit of confidence. You don't go, you get an extra bit of rest. But I wanted to keep myself busy when it's big. You know, I wanted to go there because I know I play well in the European, so I know I wanted to go there, try and win the trophy. I know I didn't, but come back with a good bit of confidence from it. I had some good performances, and it's probably going to do myself good because I was on the stage a couple of days ago and they've had a week off, so it can work in everyone's favour, but everyone's different. I'm just in a good headspace, and I feel really good for tomorrow with the way I played the weekend.
When we spoke to Luke later, he was talking about he wants to break all sorts of records. You're not that far behind James Wade in getting the 3rd most majors, despite being less than 2 years into winning your first. Is that another record on your mind that you could possibly well do this year?
Not particularly. I think I'd love to be able to make it over 10 major finals in the next couple of years, to be honest, but I'm not chasing it. I'm not like desperately trying to achieve it as soon as possible. You know, I could do it this year, who knows, but yeah, it's not something I'm trying to achieve really desperately. I think I can, but it all depends how I play throughout the rest of the year. If I'm at my best, then of course there's a chance for it to be broken, but it's definitely not something I'm chasing at the moment.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Hello, Luke.
Hello.
And what one key lesson you have learned from your toughest matches this season?
I've won quite a few of the toughest ones, to be honest. So the lesson I've learned is to stay focused. I think a lot of games I was maybe behind in them and I managed to come back really well, stay focused. So yeah, I think you're always learning, but I've played for so long now that you kind of can't learn every game, and you know, it's been a decent season for myself, and I'm hoping that I can top it off with a great win tomorrow.
So what advice would you give to the young people aiming to reach your level of success?
It's about just not putting pressure on yourself. I think a lot of young kids, they see the talent that's coming through now and they put pressure on themselves thinking they've got to be as good as us when they're like 12, 13, but you know, wasn't as great when I was a kid, and managed to, you know, get really good at the age of 21, 22. So, you know, it's just about relaxing, enjoying your youth, and dedicating yourself. You have to practice hard and work hard, because nothing comes easy in life.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
But is the standard better this year? Because you and Little have had some real proper ding-dongs, you know, 115, 110 averages. Does it feel like the standard's getting better?
Sometimes, yeah. I think there's some weeks that it feels like it's at its absolute peak. Some weeks feel like it's not at its best. But you know, me and Luca have had some great battles over the last few years, especially that game in Aberdeen. That was quite a good game. But yeah, I think it's much more tighter this year. I think it was a difference. Last year with a lot of players, 8th, 7th and 6th, that were nowhere near. This year, that sort of bottom group were a bit more tighter to 4th and 5th than last year, so it felt a little bit, I felt like it was a bit more competitive this year.
No disrespect to Nathan or going, but everyone's assuming it's going to be the two leagues, another chapter in this epic rivalry. Do you feel that? Do you feel there's a sort of momentum between you two? Because I say you have had these sort of classic matches.
Yeah, I don't really think that that's something I'm thinking about. You know, I've got to get past Nathan first. You know, and I might not, if I do get past Nathan, I might not be playing Luke. I might be playing Gezi. So yeah, you can't predict anything in darts. You've got 4 great dart players in the semi-finals. Any one of us can win. You know, all 4 of us can win that trophy tomorrow. So I don't think it's a mistake if you think that you're going to be playing someone in the final that actually win the game first yourself. So yeah, I'm not going to count my chickens yet before I've actually even made the final.
Michael Van Gogh is not here, unfortunately. He's announced this week he's going through some struggles. Have you spoken to him? Have you had a chance to communicate with him?
No, not really. No, you know, Michael's private life's his own thing, and I wouldn't mention it on camera anyway.